Hi, I'm V. Paul with Health Sciences Classroom Services, and I'm now giving a virtual tour about what we call the ALC number 4 skills classrooms. There are 4 of these classrooms that seat 32, but then 2 of them can combine to form a 64-seat classroom. They are flexible seating, meaning the tables and chairs can be moved around and reconfigured as needed. If you look through the windows right now, you can see that we've got conference style set over here where there are 2 sets of long tables of folks facing each other versus what we're calling ALC style, the pods right here, pods of 8. And then in the next room, you're going to see what classroom style looks like, where all the tables and chairs are facing forward. Now, these 4 rooms are all Zoom rooms, so they are great for distance learning. You can connect to a scheduled Zoom session, you could join somebody else's Zoom session, you could host your Zoom session, and you can also start an ad hoc one that's just that's been unscheduled. These are also classrooms with built-in recorders. So if you need to have lecture capture or any kind of classroom recording done, you would request that of our office, and we would program the recorders to start and stop at a specific time and then publish it to your MediaSpace account so that you can make your content available to your students on Canvas. Now, in addition to that, these rooms have projectors, 1 projector per room. There's a podium at the front of each for a teaching station for the instructor, and there is enough Wi-Fi and power so that students can bring their own devices that they would need, their laptops, their tablets, their mobile devices. We're currently standing on the 3rd floor of the PWB portion of the HSEC project. You can see there are stairs leading down to the 2nd floor there. These are stairs leading up to the 4th. If you head down this way, Student Services is just on the end here, and then you could walk into the 3rd floor of the HSEC building itself. Why don't we go into this class right now, and I'll show you some more details. Okay, so here we are in the middle of one of the quads of the ALC number 4 skills classrooms. This is HSEC 3152, and as I stated earlier, these tables and chairs are organized in an ALC format. These are pods of 8, so 4 of them here. Notice that we've got portable whiteboards for the students to use, as well as on the dividing wall here, when this wall would close to make this one classroom, or it would open in order to combine the 2 classrooms. That wall also has whiteboard space, and then on the front there for the instructor there is also a whiteboard. You'll notice that it's a projector here in this classroom. There are dedicated Wi-Fi access points so that there is enough internet for students to use their own devices. And you'll notice as well, we've got power, 3 outlets plus 2 USB outlets so that students can power their own devices, charge them to keep them ready for class. And then lastly, on that corner, you'll notice we've got a camera on this corner, we've got a camera on the other corner, and the other 2 classes have cameras as well. That's because this room is designed to be a Zoom room, so the cameras will feed into the Zoom room so that the far side could see the students or could see the instructor. But also there's built-in classroom recording. We use recorders that publish to the university's Kaltura MediaSpace video repository. MediaSpace feeds Canvas. So everyone here on campus has a MediaSpace account, and so an instructor or an admin or a student could request classroom recording of us, and we would then process that request, attach the recording to their account so that it starts and stops at a specified time and then publishes to them, and they would have access to edit it or to share it as needed. Okay, so here we are at the teacher's station, the podium of 3152, and you'll notice that we've got a monitor here. This is the confidence monitor. It is connected to a built-in room PC, so you don't have to bring your own device in order to teach here. You can simply use the room PC to teach. If you need an HDMI cable, we do provide that for your laptop or your tablet. If you don't have HDMI, you will have to bring your own adapter, however. But really, one of the big points of this room is that we've got a Solstice wireless presentation device in each podium of the classroom. That means the instructor could take their laptop, their tablet, or their mobile device, wirelessly connect to the Solstice, and then they could share their desktop. They could share slides, or they could share video with audio to the screen here without having to actually connect any wires. And the interesting thing about that too is students at the tables could also connect to that Solstice wireless presentation device. And so when it's their turn to share content, All 4 of these pods can connect at the same time, and you could have 4 displays up, or you could have 2 displays up if you're just comparing those two, or they can go one after the other. The instructor here could moderate the sharing so that the instructor could choose who is sharing at what point, and there's no cabling needed at that point. You'll notice we've got this podium microphone. So if you were just standing right here, it would pick up your voice fine, but we also have wireless clip-on microphones and wireless handheld microphones, so there could be multiple instructors teaching in this space. This space is managed by a touch screen right here. From this touch screen, you would choose the room computer, or choose your laptop, or choose the wireless presentation device. You could also start and stop your Zoom rooms from here, as well as manage any classroom recording that you would want to manage on your own from here. Now, from this vantage point, this is the teaching station in the 3150 side of the room. So this is 3150 and 3152. When they're combined, it's a 64-seat classroom, but when they're separate, it's 32 here, 32 here. Notice that this classroom is set in classroom style, meaning the tables and chairs are all facing forward. We've moved whiteboards off to the side there. These are portable whiteboards that are dedicated to these classrooms, though they can be distributed to other classroom spaces if needed. And as well, as I mentioned, the wall that closes up down the middle here, that's also a whiteboard surface. Here at this podium, I'd like to just sort of share that if there was an instructor teaching the whole room, this is the ideal podium because it is the centralmost podium between the 2 rooms. So an instructor could be showing content from this podium, but it shows up on this screen or it shows up on that screen. If there were 2 instructors sharing the class and they wanted to teach one at a time, they could have content here and content there and just switch which podium is showing content at what point. So this is an ideal room for classes that have multiple instructors in one go. As well, you'll notice that the projector screen is retracted into the ceiling. It's just a manual pull down, so that exposes the whiteboard surface here for the instructor. Now, I'm standing right in the middle of both rooms, and as I've said before, this is a 32-seater, this is a 32-seater. There are 2 more classrooms through that wall that are also 32s, and they would combine to form 64. Here is the wall. It's a motorized wall that comes down in between. If you needed a class to be opened or closed, meaning if you needed it to be divided or combined, you would include that in your request to us, and we would manage moving the walls using the controls. FM or Health Sciences Classroom Services are the only ones that can close or open a wall. And as well, if you needed to have layout changes, there will be a default setting to most of these classrooms, and that default setting will be informed by how the room will need to be used mostly during a semester. If most of these courses are asking for ALC in these spaces in a particular semester, we will leave them in ALC, and you are welcome to move the tables and chairs as you need to, as long as you put them back in the way you found them. But as well, if you have special needs, special layouts, you would also include that in your request to us, and our staff could certainly move these tables and chairs for you. So from this vantage point, the last thing I just wanted to talk about was what it looks like from a student perspective. So here I am sitting at the back of the row, but as you can see that it's a fairly large projection screen for this size room. We made sure that detailed content would be legible from a student from this distance. And you'll also note that there are no room microphones here in this space. A student would just need to project their voice. But it's a fairly small room, so that's not too difficult to do. Plus, it's a lively room, meaning sound does bounce off these walls and carry throughout this space without the use of a mic. But if a student needed to be heard in a Zoom session, for example, or on a classroom recording, they would just need to use one of the wireless units that are dedicated to this space. And the last thing I wanted to point out is you'll notice these great floor-to-ceiling windows. The idea behind that design was to showcase the work, to showcase the learning that's done in these spaces. But if there's any activity in which privacy is required, we do have window treatments that just pull the blinds down, and then the outside hallway would not necessarily see content that's being shown in here. I think that's all I really have to say about these spaces. Again, my name is V. Paul with Health Sciences Classroom Services. Let us know if you've got any questions. We're looking forward to hosting your courses in these new spaces and any events that you might imagine for these spaces. So yeah, just let us know what you might need, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe. Thank you.